Watch the supermarket aisle when two trolleys clip each other. One person checks their shopping. The other one, the one who got hit, is already saying sorry. Watch the meeting. Sorry, quick question. Sorry, one more thing. Sorry, no, you go. Every sentence they own arrives wearing an apology like a coat. Read their emails. Sorry to bother you, sent to a person whose entire job is answering that exact question. They apologize to furniture. Walk them through a cafe and they'll say sorry to a chair they brushed. The chair, to be clear, was fine. And when they cry, listen. Between the breaths there's a steady sorry, I'm sorry. They apologize for the tears while the tears are still falling. Stand at their front door. Sorry about the mess, they say, into a hallway you could photograph for a magazine. Now line those up. Nobody was harmed in any of them. There is no offense anywhere in sight. So what, exactly, is the sorry for? The easy answer is politeness. Or its sadder cousin, low confidence. But neither survives the timing, so look at the timing. A real apology points backward, at damage already done. These sorries fire before anything happens at all. They're not aimed at the past. They're aimed at the next 5 seconds. So call it what it behaves like. It's insurance. A premium, paid on entry, against an accident nobody has had yet. Every doorway gets a toll. Before the question, sorry. Before the request, sorry. Before taking up any space at all, sorry. Paid in full, every time. Notice the word, before. That's the whole tell. Remorse follows. This precedes. It's a white flag, raised before the first shot. If you surrender on arrival, no war can start. That's the logic, surrender as a security system. Each sorry carries the same message underneath, I know I'm a cost. I know my presence has a price. Look, I'm already paying it. Which means they're not reporting a fault. They're setting a price, their own. And they set it low, before you can. A discount, applied at the door. And under all of it runs one pattern. The sorry isn't really an apology. It's sonar, a soft ping sent into the room to hear what bounces back. Watch their eyes right after they say it. The word leaves, and the scan begins, your face, your shoulders, the set of your jaw. The sorry was the ping. Your reaction is the reading. These are people who can read a mood through a closed door. From footsteps. From the weight of keys hitting a bowl. From how a car door shuts outside. They know your tone shifted before you know you have a tone. That's not nervousness. That's an instrument, calibrated, precise, and always on. And instruments are built for the waters they had to survive. Nobody develops sonar in a calm sea. So the question stops being why do they apologize, and becomes, what was the sea? Go back to the house where the instrument was built. There's usually a room in it where one person's mood was the weather. Everyone else just lived in the forecast. Whole evenings turned on one temperature. You checked it at the door, from the shoes, from the silence, from whether the television was on. In that house, a kid learns their own footsteps can tip a scale. So they learn to walk lightly. Ask nothing at the wrong hour. Need things quietly, or not at all. Because needs had prices there. A lift to practice, money for a school trip, help with homework, every request was a match struck near something flammable. And then the kid finds it. The discount. A request wrapped in an apology is smaller, softer, harder to be angry at. Sorry, can I, survives evenings that can I, does not. So sorry becomes a knock. Attached to the front of every sentence, the way you'd knock on any door you weren't sure about. Permission requested before every word. And here's the part that matters, it worked. The shrunken version of them got through nights the full-size version wouldn't have. The apology was armor, and the armor held. Cause and effect, learned once, with the whole evening at stake. Lessons learned at those stakes don't fade. They install. So the constant sorry isn't a flaw in the machine. It is the machine, a survival strategy still running, decades after the war it was built for ended. Now map where the sorries land, because the spread isn't random. Plot them like pins. Densest around power. The boss. The landlord. Anyone who can change the shape of their day with a mood. Around those people, the sorries arrive in clusters. Common with strangers. They apologize to waiters for ordering food. In a restaurant. To a waiter. For ordering. But here's the reading that should stop you. The sorries fall just as thickly in the safe zones. The gentlest friend gets them. The partner who has never once raised their voice gets them daily. Because the instrument stopped checking for actual danger a long time ago. It doesn't fire on threats anymore. It fires on people. The map has no safe zones marked because the original map never had any. You can't draw what you've never seen. Which uncovers the strangest fact in the whole pattern: the sorry isn't addressed to you. It never was. It's addressed to someone who isn't in the room anymore. Now count what it costs, because the bill is real. Start here, people believe them. Open every idea with "sorry, this is probably stupid," and rooms begin to agree. Offer yourself at half price and the market takes the deal. Every time. The discount you announce is the discount you get. In meetings, their idea dies with a sorry at each end, and gets reborn 20 minutes later, louder, in someone else's mouth. And the room hears it for the first time. The sorries train everyone in range. Each one is a small instruction: don't weigh me. After enough repetitions, people learn it. Then they act on it. And the word itself goes bankrupt. When everything gets a sorry, the one that matters arrives weightless. They spent decades printing the currency, and now it buys nothing. The people who love them ache in a specific way. Because every sorry, to a friend of 10 years, carries a small accusation inside it: "I still think you might hurt me." The friend hears the flinch under the word. 10 years of proof, and still the flinch. You can be someone's safest person and still get received like a threat. So the gentle ones try to fix it head on. "You never have to apologize to me." And watch what comes back: automatic, unstoppable, sorry. They apologize for apologizing. The loop closes and swallows its own tail. Even they can hear it now, and they're sorry about that, too. And there's a darker line on this bill. The pre-shrunk are easy to shrink further, and certain people are always shopping. The sorry built to prevent harm now advertises where harm is cheap. Now stop watching them, because there's a fair chance this map is yours. Count your sorries for one day. Just count. Then sort them. How many had an actual offense attached, something you did, that harmed someone, that needed repair? Keep those. Now look at the pile that's left. Notice where the leftovers cluster. Before questions. Before requests. Before taking any space at all. Yours are tolls too. You've been paying at doors nobody is guarding. Replay the last favor you asked. Count the padding, just, tiny, really quick, no worries if not. You wrapped that request like a parcel marked fragile. What were you protecting it from? And notice the aftertaste each sorry leaves. A half-inch of shrink. You feel it in your shoulders on the way out of every conversation. That's the tax on the toll. Now find the exception, because there usually is one. Somewhere in your life there's a room where the sorries stop. Where you ask without wrapping. Notice what that room has that the others don't. And when someone says stop apologizing, feel what actually happens in your chest. It doesn't land as permission, does it? It lands like being caught at the toll booth without your coins. Because free has never felt safe. The old room had calm days too, and calm was the setup. That's the lesson under the lesson: nothing is free, and the bill always comes. So the sorry keeps firing in rooms that have never once hurt them, at people who never would. That's not a misreading of the present. It's a perfect memory of the past. The flinch is loyal, that's the thing. It's the last employee still clocking in at a factory that closed 30 years ago, polishing the machines every morning. So here's the reframe the whole pattern asks for. The endless sorry isn't weakness. It was intelligence, applied at age 7, to an impossible room. And it solved it. That child found the one move that made an unpredictable house survivable, and drilled it until it ran without thinking. You don't call that broken. You call that trained. The strategy just never got the message that the war ended. Strategies don't. They keep the watch they were given, on walls nobody attacks anymore. So when you hear sorry, quick question: understand what's actually reaching you. Not manners. An old map, drawn in a dangerous house, still being followed through rooms that were never dangerous. The waiter is receiving a letter written 30 years ago to somebody else. So is the boss. So are you. The address is wrong on every one, and none of them can be returned. And the sender can't tell the difference either. From inside, every room is entered the old way: temperature first, toll ready. It's not that they think you're dangerous. It's that the door doesn't ask who's home. Once you hear it, it's everywhere. The office is full of knocking. Sorry before questions, sorry before opinions, sorry for existing audibly on a Tuesday. Every one of them is a person still paying rent on a room they moved out of decades ago. The landlord is gone. The rent still leaves the account, monthly, automatic. Somewhere tonight, somebody will draft "sorry to bother you," delete it for being too much, and then retype it. Word for word. To a stranger who is paid to be bothered. Somebody will get their heel stepped on in a queue, and apologize for the placement of their own foot. And somebody, mid-tears at a kitchen table, will apologize for the weather of their own heart, to the one person who came to sit in it. But now you'll know what you're hearing. Not politeness. Not weakness. A toll, paid at a door only they can see, to a keeper who left long ago. The person who apologizes for everything was never sorry about the chair, the question, the mess, or the tears. Under every one of them runs the same single sentence, sorry for taking up space. And under that sentence sits a question they've asked for so long they can no longer hear themselves asking it, is it still safe for me to be here? The sorry is just the sound the question makes.